team, it's Gina Brooks, and today we are going to talk about transformation. As many of you know, I have become obsessed with TikTok. And although a lot of the content isn't amazing, I have been following a few therapists, psychologists, and just some regular people that share really inspirational thoughts and messages. And I came across this one and I saved it and I've been listening to it over and over and over again. So I thought it'd be interesting to do my video on it. So I'm going to read the actual statements that the therapist said in this very short 60 seconds if clip. But it's amazing what someone can say in 60 seconds. And I hope one day I can actually keep my mouth shut long enough or short enough to get all of this out in 60 seconds. But this is what she said. She said, "There are people out there depending on your transformation. Sometimes you are the key to their breakthrough. In order for someone to reach their full potential, you must first reach yours. And last, everyone has something that someone else needs, so use yours." I'm going to go through each of those statements, and I think we could talk a little bit about what we can do to help other people transform while we're transforming ourselves. So the first statement was, there are people out there depending on your transformation. And I think sometimes we don't realize that people are watching us. And I'm not talking like in a stalker way, although I'm sure that happens too, but I'm saying that every day people watch us, right? They're looking at us, they're making their first impressions, they're determining what our temperament is, our personality is, what our gifts are, all in a short period of time of meeting us. So they're basically our judge at all times. Some of what they see is fact, some of what they see is completely false. You may be broken, right? You may be lost. You may have low self-esteem. You may be struggling with communication or relationship problems. But regardless of your situation, there is someone out there watching you to see how you're reacting to these situations. It could be your children, it could be your husband or wife, it could be your coworkers, it could be your employees. But regardless, people are always watching our actions to see how we react to situations that we're put in. So that statement, there are people out there depending on your transformation, I don't think we recognize that there are people out there that are looking up to us, or they might even be looking down at us, hoping we fail. But regardless, they're watching our transformation and they want to see how we react. And if something comes out positive, something comes out negative, but nevertheless, people are depending on us that we transform and transform hopefully in a positive way. Okay. So the second comment she said was, sometimes you are the key to their breakthrough. They might not even realize they are depending on you or that you are inspiring them through your actions, right? Some people might be watching you, not even for the right reasons, and they might even not realize as they're watching you that you're the key to making them become better aware of themselves or better equipped to deal with something that they're going through. Because many of us share the same insecurities, we share the same fears, we share the same failures, right? But when you're going through those challenges, I don't know about you, sometimes I literally feel like I'm the only person on earth that is going through this. But the truth is, I'm not the only person that's ever had low self-esteem. I am not the only person that is scared to speak in public, for sure. I am not the only person who is questions her self-worth every day. There's tons of people out there that are also going through the same thing, and we're not alone. And sometimes it's not until you see someone else going through it that you even realize that you're going through it as well. You don't even recognize it in yourself because perhaps you're living in denial, or you don't want or know how to cope with it. So you're pushing those feelings down. And then when you see that someone else has gone through it, it makes you recognize it. So sometimes you and what you're going through is the key to someone else's breakthrough, that they can decide today is the day that I'm going to make that change. If Gina can do it, then I can do it. So just know that you could be the key to someone's breakthrough, to starting to transform their own life into something better. It is those people who are vulnerable and willing to share their weaknesses that have the potential to help others. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have received some comments about, wow, in a positive way, wow, you sure are transparent. You have no problem putting it out there about yourself. And that's a decision I made because I am going through my own growth. And I feel like, in a way, if I don't share my real self with you, how will you be able to feel that you can share your real self with other people that may be watching you? So I do think it's important that we share our weaknesses and share our vulnerabilities, because I truly believe if we don't take that chance to get to know each other and we're not vulnerable, we're missing so many opportunities for human connection and human compassion, right? So our difficulties is part of our testimony. Like, I think I mentioned that in my Monday moment, that this lady was saying to these people to please don't give up. Your story is not done. What you go through is your testimony. And your testimony is basically a story, right? That you share with other people. And that testimony usually has a lot of great tragedy or difficulties. But the great news is that testimony, there's usually like a happy ending or a lesson learned at the end that you can share with someone else. And the next thing she mentioned was, in order for someone to reach their full potential, you must first reach yours. So I can sit here and tell you my story, and I can give you tips and suggestions, and I can do my research and say, this is what therapists say, this is what the experts say. But unless I go through it first and reach my full potential, or deal with those insecurities about my self-worth and deal with my anxiety and depression and be able to come out the other side to be able to tell you the end result and story, then I really can't help you as much as I could to have the ending to my story. So as I go through this journey, you're going through this journey with me. I'm sharing my life, my stories, my insecurities with you in hopes that it offers me, it's good self-talk to myself, and I can constantly be talking about these issues and reminding myself, but also it's a testimony when I hear from you and you say, wow, Gina, I'm going through that same thing. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being vulnerable. I didn't realize you went through that. I didn't realize that you had your own challenges. So for me to be able to help you or teach someone else to reach their full potential, I have to reach mine first. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a work in progress. But one of the best things that I ever learned was from a really close friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine. And I was pretty young. I would say, well, it's probably, anything's young to me now, but I would say I was like maybe in my late 20s, early 30s, and pretty self-absorbed, pretty, I hadn't experienced any tragedy. I hadn't experienced any loss. I hadn't experienced, honestly, pretty sheltered life and pretty self-absorbed, frankly. Pretty much, I can't say I was really super proud of the person I was. I really didn't do anything for my community or really thought about helping others. And she told me one day, she's a really close friend of mine, she told me, Gina, I always ask you about your family and how you're doing, and you never ask about me. You never ask how my family is, how I'm doing. You just take and you don't really give back. I'm not gonna lie, it stung, but it was the single most soul searching, life changing, honest conversation that someone told me that completely changed my life. And I'm not going to lie to you, I to this day have to work so hard at listening, at following up with people, with sending words of encouragement, sending thanks to people, asking them about how's your family, how's your daughter, caring enough to know, knowing enough to care. Those are things that I work at. It does not come natural. I've had to work and learn and change a lot of self-absorbed bad habits that I had. So I guess my point is, I am never going to be able to reach or help you reach your potential if I don't make those really important changes in my life. Same with you. Until you make those very important changes in your life, until you have a testimony with a happy ending or a lesson learned, you won't be able to touch someone else. So hopefully you're on this journey with me because I need you. Okay, so last, everyone has something that someone else needs, so use yours. I love that. Regardless of where you are in your journey of self-discovery, you have something from your story that someone can learn from, right? You have the potential to be an active member, right? If you choose to be and you want to be. I guess that's the choice I've made. I've made the active choice to attempt to inspire and share and engage you, people that want to hear from me. I mean, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I get that. But I chosen to use what I have to share with you to mentor you. Not everyone does that. Not everyone wants to videotape their confessions and failures and mistakes. You might be a silent mentor, meaning that you are giving someone something they need through your actions. You might not even be actively doing it, but by leading the life of community and caring and giving, you might be mentoring and giving someone something that's silent that you don't even realize. So ask yourself this: what do I have that someone else needs? So I asked myself that. I thought, well, how would I answer that? What have I been able to give to you or anyone else that they may need? And I thought about it and I came up with empathy and understanding to those who struggle with mental health issues. I feel like by me sharing my story and my struggles with anxiety and depression, what can I give to others? What can I give to my children? What could I give to other people that are suffering? Well, I could give them compassion. I can give them understanding. I can give them tips on what's worked for me. I could let them know they're not alone. So even out of my struggles with anxiety and depression, I have something that I can give to someone else that may help them. Okay. And the second thing I feel like I have is encouragement to those who suffer from low self-esteem or suffer from low self-worth. I think maybe my vulnerability and willingness to share with you and people that I too struggle with those issues, and on paper or maybe the way I carry myself, people assume there's no way that's true. We all have masks, and that's one way I mask my insecurities is by powering through them. And that's something I've learned through years of practice. I struggle with self-worth every single day. I wake up every single day and I pick up my phone or I pick up my Kindle and I read positive, encouraging messages. I try to surround myself with positive, encouraging people. These are things that they give me, right, that I need, that make me be able to reach my fullest potential. So I want you to ask yourself, what do you have that someone else needs? And then go do it. Go use it. Go use that quality that you have because someone else may need it. And I want to end with this quote because I love my quotes. But I found this quote about smiling, and I was reading something about the fact that you can tell a lot about a person by their smile. If it's real, if it's fake, if they're going through something. Some people have no problem like faking a smile. Some people don't even bother smiling like if they're upset. Like I'm the type of person that I'll mask whatever I'm going through with a smile just because I don't like to interject what I'm going through internally and put it upon other people. So often you would never know if I'm upset. Everyone says I'm really good at hiding what I'm going through, which that's probably true. But I saw this quote and I want to end it with this because I just absolutely loved it and I thought it kind of fit into what we were talking about today. It says, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. Don't you love that? So I'm going to give you one of my smiles, and I hope that you have a wonderful Thursday, and I look forward to talking to you next week. I hope that you go on to my website and subscribe. That's something you can give me that will make me encouraged and inspired to continue knowing that you're out there, and perhaps maybe I'm giving you something as much as you're giving me, because you're giving me a lot. So my website is www.workplacewanda.com, and I would love if you went on there and subscribed, and let's support this community of people trying to transform their lives, and let's be each other's bridge to reach a positive, good place where we can cope with daily life and cope with the pandemic that we're experiencing right now, because I know it's been a struggle for a lot of us. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Bye. Toodles.